Do you want to increase the chances of those that are watching your videos actually being customers or buyers? Then stick with me, because I know a lot of you have products or services that's perfect for YouTube. And I say that because you can do a demonstration, you can do a tutorial, like a product review, you can do before and after. So stick with me. I'm going to tell you 5 methods that will kind of help you get there. And I'm going to make some coffee. And there's a lot of noise today. I have a bird out there. It's not mine, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay, now the first hack is gonna be something that has to do with search volume keywords. And I know everything says to search the highest volume keywords. So I like to use like skincare as an example. So if you were to put, say, skincare routine in your video title or on your thumbnail, that might come up with like a million different a million different people, right? That's a lot of people. But then if you change it and put like best acne product for a skincare routine, that is totally different. And those are considered intent search terms, because somebody that's that specific, they're probably more likely to actually take action and buy, right? Because it's just not as vague. It's very, very specific. And you can apply that to pretty much any product you have. Just be very specific, and you can practice that by doing the search yourself. You know, do the basic general one and then be more specific, and then figure out to see which one better suits your product. And an easy way to kind of keep that in mind is think problem solution, right? Skincare, but acne is a problem. You have a solution with your product. That is a method that I see all the time used. And it's pretty much, you would use words like the best, blah, blah, blah. How to fix your blah, blah, blah. This versus that. Oil-free versus oil-based moisturizer, whatever your skincare product is. And again, I'm only using skincare products as a sample. I'm not in the skincare industry, but I just figure it's an easy example. Also, you want to draw in on the specific pain point. So instead of organization, you would say organize a small closet if you do home organizing. Another good one are product comparison terms like X versus Y, or an alternative to XYZ, or is something worth the cost? Is natural skincare worth paying more for over skincare that is not 100% natural? Whatever that is, those are the terms that I think will narrow down an audience that's actually ready to buy. There's also urgency there. You want to fast. Everybody wants fast. Clear up your skin fast, or clear up your skin in 3 days, or a quick way to get your skincare routine in. And then another thing is in 2025, in 2026, whenever you're watching it, whatever year that you're posting it, you want to add that in. And you can always go back and tweak and update it. That's a little trick. Maybe if 3 years pass and you posted a video and everything is still relevant, you can just go in and change the title and the thumbnail, and there you go. So what you want to do is you want to go into YouTube search and then type in your main keywords, and it's going to auto-complete for you. It'll start adding things in there. And so those are real searches by real people. So that tells you what they're looking for. And then once you've done that, what you want to do is focus on the keywords that have about, I would say, 10,000 to 100,000 monthly searches. That's the sweet spot for small channels, because it's high enough for traffic, but it's low enough to rank. So keep that in mind. That's a little trick. Let me see how my coffee is. I didn't stir it. I should have. It's not that dark. I hope I grabbed decaf, because it's late in the day and I don't want to be up. So then the next method that you're going to want to do is really attract your customer with the title. And there's a 3-part formula for that. First, it would be the hook, and usually the hook that works well are skincare mistakes that those of you who struggle with acne, or the secret to always staying organized if you have a small space. Those are words that work really well when it comes to tweaking your title to attract the right people. The second thing you want to squeeze in your title, if you have enough room, is what they'll achieve, mistakes people make, and how to fix it for better skin. The third thing is a time frame or a qualifier. Like, give them the amount of time that they're going to be needing for it, like 10 minutes to do a facial that will make your skin glow, or organize without spending money on new containers. So an example of what a transition title will look like before and after. Before would be something as simple as my morning skincare routine, right? But after, if you were to change it using this other method, it would be 5-minute morning skincare routine that cleared my skin in 3 days. Or how to organize your closet before. After would be tiny closet organization, 7 hacks that will double your space. So you can see how that little difference will attract a different customer. Your checklist for your title is going to be, under 60 characters. So that way it shows fully on mobile. You want to have your main keywords in the first 5 words, and you want to include emotional triggers like numbers or anything that will make them feel a sense of urgency or that they're going to have a benefit. And then promise an outcome, but be careful about that, because even like with a diet, if somebody says do this workout for 12 days and lose 10 pounds, well, there may be some other factors that would prevent somebody else getting the same result. So I would be careful with the promising of an outcome. Maybe you would use language like that could do X, Y, and Z, or that may do X, Y, and Z. And then make them curious enough to click on it. You know, if you have some great before and after photos, that in of itself speaks volumes, and that's a good way to go. So in the description, you're going to want to highlight the main keywords and the benefits of whatever it is that you're selling or product you're talking about. You can think of your description as a 3-part structure. So the first part would be the hook. That's where you restate the main keywords, parts in the title, and what the benefit is going to be. The second part, you're going to want to break down the value that they're going to get. Maybe have some bullet points of a few things that you plan to talk about, include some keywords in there naturally, and then maybe that's a good time to mention something that you have to sell and put a link in there. And that leads to the third section. If you mention the product, if you haven't put the link in, you're going to want to do a call to action and then put the link in there. And if you have some testimonials or something like that, very, very short and sweet, put it in there, and then maybe 3 hashtags. So in that section, think benefit, maybe 1 keyword, another benefit, a couple of keywords. You're going to have your call to action, maybe some links, and then a few hashtags. The fourth method is you're going to want to focus on the psychology behind a thumbnail. So for instance, if you have a title and it states the benefit, then the thumbnail, it should have some type of curiosity there. And an example of that would be, if let's just use the organizing a house scenario, where you have a photo of something messy and then the other half of the photo very clean. Or, you know, somebody's face looking maybe not so great with scars, acne, whatever it is, wrinkles. And then the other photo of a huge improvement. That is kind of tapping into a visual psychology, and you want to use that in the thumbnail whenever you can. And a lot of common methods are, of course, bold text with contrasting colors. If you're comfortable, use your face with different emotions and expressions. I mean, I'm sure you've seen them on YouTube. Some are a bit extreme for me that I wouldn't feel comfortable doing, but hey, if you're comfortable doing, I think as long as you're authentic, you're fine. And when you do the thumbnail, follow the 3-second rules. What that means is if you didn't know about your product, if it was not you, could you understand and figure out what the video is about in 3 seconds? And if you can't do that, then you need to redesign it. Speaking of design, my ACCESSS Keychain, it is designed for entrepreneurs, dreamers, people that want to do more and create more, Those of us that want access to open doors, that is what my design represents, and the logo behind it. It's a great keychain. There's a few different options in shapes and colors, so I'll put the link below. Okay, number 5. I think that's the 5th one. Number 5 is watch time optimization. Now, there's 2 train of thoughts here. There are those that want to be monetized as well as sell their own product, and that makes total sense. But to do that, you know, you have to have 1,000 views and over 4,000 watch hours. But you don't have to be monetized to start making money and sell your product, right? You can have 100 subscribers or 50 subscribers. Subscribers doesn't necessarily mean views. But you do want to think about watch time, because depending on where your call to action lands in your video, the idea is you want them to watch as much as possible of the video, if not the whole thing. And most people, they just do not. Like, some of you, well, if you made it this long, then this doesn't apply with you. But I have so many videos, people looked at it for 5 seconds and was like, I'm out of here. So retention. A video with 1,000 views but has 80% retention is so much more valuable than a video that has 10,000 views with 20% retention. So usually the first 15 seconds, the hook is what I even decide that. Like, I usually know if I'm going to keep watching within a few seconds, at least 10 seconds. So that's the reason why you want to make sure that you're right off the bat. You might even have your product in your hand, or, you know, I don't know if this was, if I was selling this and I could do something different with it. Start right off the top. That way people know that it wasn't just clickbait. You know, you want to get to the point. I personally don't need all of the formal greetings at the top of the video, which is why I don't really do them that much. But I am open, leaving a comment if you wish that I would. But the videos that just get to, this was my skin after, this is the product that I use, stay with me, I'm going to show you how to use it, and I'm going to show you a tweak to get faster results. That, for me, I'll keep watching, as opposed to, hi everybody, I'm so-and-so, and thank you so much for watching my channel. Be sure to check out my other videos, blah, 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 blah. But that's just me. You know, I get why there's a long introduction sometimes, because I believe I've done that before. I'm pretty sure I have a video like that. And I know you can't squeeze everything in the first 30 seconds, or else you wouldn't have a video that runs, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes long. But you do want to make them curious. You want to make them curious enough to continue to watch. And so once you have your intro the way you like it, you've talked a little bit about whatever it is you need to talk about, the last 20%, focus on the payoff. Remind them of the biggest value of your product. And then you want to follow it up with a call to action. Payoff, call to action. That way you're going to get more people to at least click on it. They might not buy that day, but even if they move over to your website and they decide to sign up for emails, you've still increased your chances of having a buyer way more than if you had not. I've seen so many methods used to try to increase watch time as well. There's like the cliffhanger method, when you have people hanging on, like, if it was, say, a video, what's a good example? If it just started off, this is what happened to my skin, and you won't believe what happens next. And it's like, oh, okay, what happened? What happened? What happened next? I want to see. And then cuts and it starts to your intro, and they're going to have to wait to see what happens next. That's a method. There's the preview method. That kind of is almost the same thing, the cliffhanger and a preview method. So those are 5 ideas that I think that for somebody starting out, you have a product, you decided to do YouTube, because that's what this 6-part series is about, is having a YouTube channel, all the work that goes into it. Is it worth it when you are selling a product? And again, only you know that decision. It depends on what type of product it is. Again, I love YouTube because it lives forever. Somebody can find a video that you made 3 years ago and take action on it. Whereas the other socials like Instagram, I don't see videos from 3 years ago, or reels, I should say. You don't. It's just whatever's in your face for the day, maybe 2 to 3 days maximum within the last week. And for those of you that have not started a business and you want to, or you have and you haven't really quite got it going, check out my Small Moves Big Dream Guide. It's free. I think it's a great tool to get you started on the path of just some basic steps to get your business started. It's 13 pages, it's not very long, and I think you'll like it, so check it out. I'll see you next time.